Good morning and welcome to our daily word. We have reached the end of another week. So thanks for hanging out with me this week. Thanks for sharing your time with me as always and for carving out this time at 10 o'clock a.m. every single day, mostly every day, to join me, given doctor's appointments and things that changes. But anyways, thanks for always being faithful and thanks for letting me know always how this word applies. It's interesting how it applies to our lives and how it speaks to us and where God's calling us. So thank you for that. Thanks for saying good morning as always. So it's a beautiful sunny day out there. A little chilly, but it's a beautiful day. Today is daily word number 681. So we continue on this journey together. So we are in the season of Lent. We celebrated Ash Wednesday, of course, and we had a great crowd and good food, and I think the scripture spoke to all of us as we shared both in communion and in ashes. So thanks for being here on that. So I chose for this morning from the book of Exodus, chapter 6, verses 10 through 12. And we hear these words. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, "Go and tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to let the Israelites go out of his land." But Moses spoke to the Lord, "The Israelites have not listened to me. Why should Pharaoh listen to me? Poor speaker that I am." So we know that the book of Exodus recounts the story of Moses, a baby born into an enslaved Hebrew family, placed in that basket, adopted into a royal family in Egypt. And then here in the 6th chapter of Exodus, we hear about Moses as an adult who has fled his family because he killed an Egyptian that he saw beating one of his Hebrew relatives. He has married into his third family, becomes a shepherd, keeping his father-in-law's flocks. And in the midst of that story, right, God calls him. God calls him to liberate his people from captivity. And in this conversation that we hear, Moses is pretty sure that he's not the right person for the job. But no one will listen to me, Moses says. I'm slow of speech. Who will believe that the Lord has sent me? Our favorite word, but, God, I can't, I won't, I can't, I shouldn't, no one will listen. You know, it seems like things around humankind, things around you and me never seem to change. We find it easy to make excuses. Right now, God, I don't really think I can right now, but maybe in the future. Maybe I'll find my way. Maybe if you just give me time, I'll figure it out. But God, when we feel like we're being called and drawn by God, how do we respond? What reasons do we give for doing nothing instead? In the book of Exodus, in the story of Moses, we see that God equips the person that God calls. God equips Moses for every single eventuality, providing the support of his brother Aaron, the miraculous power to impress and then terrify Pharaoh and his court. And we know about the plagues. We won't talk about that through all of these plagues. You see, in all of our lives, God knows where we come from, who we are, and what we need to fulfill God's call, God's purpose in our lives, in all of us, in all of our lives, all around us. I think we know and we see and we can ponder that there's still chains to break, there's still captives to set free, there's still much of God's work to be done in our world, the call to work for liberation. And the question for us, I think, always in this conversation and in scripture and in living our lives together is, what will our response be to God's call on us? Will we say yes? will we say, okay, God, or will we say, but wait a minute, and then make excuses? I don't say the right words. I don't have any ability. I'm too old. I'm too young. Where is it that God will move in us and shape us and call us to be God's people? You see, I sometimes wonder that too, if I have what it takes, to do what it is that God continues to call me to do. And like Moses, we're equipped to continue to heed God's call in our lives, continue to be fed and nurtured by God. And I think that's a good word for us as we end another week. That God continues to work in us and equip us for whatever it is that call might be. And I need to be reminded of that sometimes, and probably you do as well. So thanks for joining me this week. Thanks for being part of this daily word with us. Hope you'll join us Sunday morning at 10:15 for Sunday in Lent. We're sharing the sacrament of communion. Thanks for hanging out. And so I pray you'll know of God's love that surrounds you and my love for you. And I will look forward to seeing you Sunday morning and then here again at 10 o'clock on Monday. Have a great day and a great weekend.